Hello, everyone. Good evening. Um, I hope you're doing all good today. So now this depends on where you're watching. If you're in Nigeria, good evening. If you're in other parts of the world, it might be a different. You might be in a different time zone. Good evening, everyone. I hope we're doing all good today. Welcome to class. It's been quite a while. I was supposed to take a class some days back, or some weeks back. I felt ill. That was why I couldn't complete my session for that week. But I'm all good right now. So I hope you all are doing great. I learned you are currently working on some projects. I hope it's going on good at your end. So what we're going to be looking at today is the last class that I wasn't able to take for that week, which we will be looking at Google Ads. That's what we're going to be looking at. We'll be looking at Google Ads. We'll be looking at Google Ads, and we'll also be looking at Keywords Planner. Yeah, Google's keyword tool. I'm going to show you how you can use that to carry out keyword research so that you can use that to fuel your campaign basically. Yeah, you're welcome. Good evening to thank you very much. Thank you very much. Good evening to all of you. I hope you're doing all good. So before I commence the project, I learned that you are before I commence the lessons for today. Yeah, of course, I'm doing all good. I'm doing very, very fine right now. I'm doing very, very fine right now. You for thanks for asking. Yeah, good evening. Good evening. So I hope we have a sufficient number of people in class today. So I learned from my co-instructor that you're working on a project. You are actually building a website, and basically you are shared into groups. I hope you are doing great with the project. I hope you guys have gone far with the project. So let me get an update. Can someone from either of the group give me an update, because I'm looking to also um, yeah, I'm doing all good. I'm doing all good. Thanks for asking. So I'm looking forward to giving you some tasks. Okay, so you can also implement some things that you have learned from SU to on that project. And yeah, we just basically look at how we can work our way around it, and also get you to implement to implement SEO on this site as well. Yeah, I'm doing better now. Thanks for asking. I'm doing better now. Thanks for asking. So I'm going to start my class at the moment, and at the end of this class, then we can now review what you have done in regards to the projects that was given to you by my co-facilitator. So today we're going to be looking at how to use Google Keywords Planner, and also how to set up a basic ads on Google AdWords. Yeah, thank you very much, Christabel. I'm doing all good now. I'm doing all good now. So I'm going to show you how you can carry out keyword research using Google's Keyword Planner. And I'm also going to show you how you can set up ads on, I'll show you how you can set up ads as well on Google Ads, how to set up a basic ads on Google, um, set up a basic ad on Google Ads. Okay. So I just received links to some of the projects that you worked on. I just received links to some of the projects that you worked on. And thank you very much, Juliet. I'm back and I'm doing all good. So I'm currently looking at some of the projects you worked on. Okay. So after looking at it, I'll give a review, and then um, I'll study it, and then in our next class um, we can look at how we can carry up some other things as well. Okay, I'm currently looking at the projects that you worked on. So let me share my screen so you can have a look. So that's what I'm doing right away. So I can just have a glance of what you did, and I got a glance of what you did. So this is one of the projects I learned one of the team worked on. Welcome to Warriors Cuisine. Okay. So I see you built some with WordPress, and okay, it seems these guys have just started, haven't really done a lot. So three groups used WordPress and one group used Wix. Okay. So we're going to look at this. Okay, we're going to look at this. We're going to look at this, and then I'm going to also walk you through because we looked at SEO basically. So I'm also going to walk you through the process of implementing SEO and walk you through a couple of things as well. So without further ado, let's get started with the lesson for today. I'll come to this quite later. Yeah, I'm doing all good now. I'm doing all good now. So without further ado, I'll get right into the lesson for today. So like I said, we're going to be looking at Google AdWords, how you can run ads using Google AdWords, and how you can use the keyword planner to carry out keyword research. Over time, we looked at how you can use a tool like Uber Suggest, and I also recommended some other tools that can be used for keyword research. But then we're going to be using Google Keywords Planner because Google has a lot of data on search results. Because a lot of businesses use Google for ads. So if you want to access Google Ads, so the first thing you need to do is to head over to your URL and search for ads.google.com. Now this is the URL that you need to type into your browser in order to access Google Ads. Now, once you are here, this is the page that you're going to see. This is the page that you're going to see. So if you do not have an account on Google Ads, now what you need to do is to click on Start Now. And once you do this, it's going to walk you through certain steps where you just need to input your information and get your account set up. So you get to input. So you can basically do this if you have a Gmail account. As you can see, this is my Gmail account signed into my computer. So I have Gmail signed onto my computer, and I have this URL here, and that's how I got to this page. So when you are on this page, since I already have an account, I'm just going to click on sign in. But if you do not have a Google AdWords account, you can now click on start now and then set up the wizard before moving forward. That's what you need to do if you do not have an account on Google Ads. But for me, I do have an account. So even as I clicked start now, it just took me directly to my ad account. Took me directly to my ad account. Now, this is what the Google ad account looks like. Okay, so we're just going to be looking at basically the tools here, which involves the Google Keyword Planner. We spoke about keywords, and you're asking, how do I carry out keyword research? How do I, get to identify keywords that I can use for SEO optimization, that I can use for basically SEO, and then at this point, you also need keywords in order to carry out Google search as well, or in order to carry out Google AdWords setup. So we're going to be looking at first the keyword planner. Afterwards, then we're going to be looking at how to create Google Ads. So I hope we are all together. I hope we are all together. So if we are together, please let me see a thumbs up. Let me see a thumbs up, just to so we know we're actually following. Let me see thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up if you are following. Let me see a thumbs up. So I'm going to be doing this just to, so I can follow along with everyone. So let me see a thumbs up if you are following. Okay. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Messi Adelike. Thank you, Mata. Okay, I can see your reactions. Thank you, Grace. Very well. So I'm going to go right into it. So now, what I want to do is I want to carry out keyword research. Now, I told you what keywords are. Keywords are specific words, that are unique to every business. That makes it easy for them to for searchers on the internet to get to them. So what we want to do is that we want to conduct keyword research. In our last class or in subsequent classes, we carried out keywords research using my website, and we were trying to look for keywords around digital marketing. But this time, what we'll be doing is we are going to be looking for keywords for a physical product. So what we'll do is I want you all to give me your suggestion. Okay, so let's say you have a physical store, you sell certain products, okay, and you want to use Google Ads to promote your product online. So I want to see your suggestion. Let me see your suggestion. Which products would you be selling? So let's say you you sell a product. So I want to see suggestions of products that you might be selling that we can use as a case study, and then build up some keywords based on what people are searching for. So you could say we could be looking at shoes. Okay, someone said perfumes, jewelry. So I'm going to pick just one. Okay, someone said jewelries. Okay, so I want to see more suggestions. Okay, so I'm going to pick one of these suggestions. Professional book. Okay, I'm going to pick property. Okay, that's also a keyword that you can refine, and then you get to see what people are searching. Skincare products. Okay, human hair. Okay, I'm getting suggestions. So I'm going to, someone said fabrics. Okay, tote bag. Okay, that's more specific. I think my screen is actually, it's because I am not on one of the pages that I want to use to that I'm actually going to be using for illustration right now. So shoes. Okay, someone said shoes. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, okay, someone said heart. Someone said perfume. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick the first one. So we're going to pick the first one, and we're also going to analyze some others as well. So I'm going to pick perfumes, yeah. Okay. So I've showed you oil perfume. Okay, someone already said perfume. Someone gave me a suggestion of furniture. Okay, so we're going to carry out a couple of tests with all of these keywords, and then get to see what people are searching for. Now, based on the search result or the search volume, we can determine what people are searching for, and then select the right keywords that we can use to set up our Google Ads. So I showed you how you can basically get up to this point. So once you, if you're new, you click on sign up, you're going to be guided through a startup wizard that's going to guide you on how to set up your account. You need to put a credit card information because hey, it's something that you actually need to pay for. So what you need to do is, there are actually two options for you to carry out your keyword research. First is discover new keywords and get search volumes and forecast. So we're going to click on discover new keywords. So this is what you can do. Okay, so you can either start with a keyword or you can start with a website. So but we already have a keyword, so I'm going to click on this keyword, or you can even enter a site, okay, to filter unrelated keywords. Okay, so let's basically use this first for this illustration. Okay, so we're going to click on this to get results. Now this is what the result looks like. Okay, so these are different perfumes, and this is their average search volume. Now, one of the things that you want to do is you want to ensure that you have your filters properly set. Now, this filter is set to Nigeria because here I'm in Nigeria. But then, if you want to include other countries, you can include other countries. So let's say you want to include Ghana. Okay, want to include want to just include basically other countries. So it depends on where you are actually selling to. Okay, so if you sell to other African countries like Kenya, you can also have that. If you sell to the US, you can have all of this information. Then you click on save. Now, once you have added all of this location, English, you want to also, now this here is you want to leave this on Google, and this is the date. So you want to make sure that you are using you have more like you want to actually set a shorter time frame. So this is currently set to 12 months. So I'm going to click on custom. Okay, So what I'll do is I'll set it, let's say January. Let me do January. Let me do January. Okay, January 2024. Okay, to let's do this. Okay, okay, this is 2024. Let's do January down to, oh, let's come here first. January. And then for the second one, let's go down to okay, September. Why is this? Okay, I think this is for 12 months. Let's go for the last month only. Okay, let's see the data that we get. Okay, this is showing for just the last month for September only. Well, but with this option, you can select time frames, okay, that can help you to basically set up the months that you would want to. Okay, so let's go for June 2024. Then you click on apply. Okay, but then I think it just wants to show us for 12 months. Okay, so once you have set your time period, okay, now you want to see the results, okay, based on um what people are searching for and the search volume. Now, the average search volume for perfume, we have about 10,000 to 100,000. So that's the average search volume. And then here we have a total of 3,215 keywords. Now, these are the keywords that are associated with perfume that people are searching for in Ghana, Nigeria, and Kenya. Okay, so now this is the average search volume. The competition here is showing you the competition here. um 3 months of change. Okay, this is not actually showing any data because we don't have a lot of data here, and this is not showing you the competition. It's showing you how much people are, because there are also other advertisers out there. It's showing you the level of competition for these keywords, how people are competing for these keywords. And now this is the top of the page. So you remember we said something about Google AdWords, how people get to bid for positions on the search engine. Now this is what people pay. Top of the page for top of the page. Okay, so this is the lowest amount that advertisers are paying for this keyword, which is perfume. And this is the highest amount that people are paying. This is quite low. Okay, now let's look at other keywords. Now this is also Baraka to Rogue. So this is also another perfume. This is the search volume, perfume shop, Blue, the Channel. So these are other perfumes that people are selling. So you are a perfume seller and you have a couple of brands and you have all of these brands, and with this you can get to see which keywords people are searching for. And with this information, you can see the search volume, and this can also give you insight on what people are searching for. If you do not have that in your store, then you might want to, okay, since it has a lot of search volumes, you might actually want to consider having that on your store as well. And you can also look at the competition and the average monthly search. So for this, it has 100 to 1K. You don't want to use because of the search is quite low, 100 to 1K. You want something that is on the high side. And this is 1K to 10K. Looking at this on the average, we'll be working with keyword on average 1K to 10K. Seems those are the ones that have the higher search volumes. So this is 100 to 1K, quite low, 1K to 10K. Now, basically, just by using the keyword perfume, Google has showed us other keywords that people are searching for under perfume. Um, Before this time, we are not really familiar with all of these things, or the exact keywords that people are using and the kind of perfumes that people would want to buy. But with this data, we now have insights on perfumes. Okay, we now have insights on their search volumes, and with that, it can basically help us to determine what product we want to sell, because there is demand for it. Now you can see we have a total of 3,215 keywords. So once you keep scrolling, you get to see a ton of them, okay? And you can take your time to select the keywords that you want. So you can also broaden your search. So you can add flower fragrance. So it's just giving you suggestions. But if this is not a part of your keywords, okay, you can just leave this here. So we're also going to look at um, we're going to look at how you can refine your keywords. Okay, so you want to it's a brand or non-brand. Okay, now these are brands. So if you sell perfumes that are made by these brands, you want to also check them and have them seen here. But if there are brands that you do not sell, you want to also make sure that you uncheck them, okay, because you want to only get results for the brands that you are actually selling. So I'm going to leave this checked in. Fragrance, okay, these are also other keywords, so you want to refine them. So I believe this is a fragrance of um, a perfume actually. So this is cologne. So I'm going to click on this to toggle it off. So what this is helping me doing, it is helping me refine to reduce the number of keywords I have. So if I sell perfumes for just male and female, or if I sell specific perfumes for just female, I can just basically get this off and then leave it for women and girls, because I actually sell perfumes for women. But if you sell for both, you want to have this here as well. For colors, if you have probably specific colors based on how these perfumes are, as you can see, these are the search results for people who are looking for blue, people who are looking for black, people who are looking for red. So it gives you insight on some colors that people are looking for, and you can easily include this when making a purchase. So basically, with this, you can use this to refine your keywords. Now you can add a filter. This is an option to add another filter. So you want to filter with exclude. Um, okay, yeah, you want to make sure. Okay, this is not the filter I want to add. This is not the filter I want to add. So you want to add a filter. So we want to click on exclude adult ideas, keywords, text does not contain. So now this is also another important one, because you want to exclude words, okay, that contains when, how, free, and cheap. So one of these things is if they are not a part of the things that you're actually selling, because this shows you intent. When someone searches for how to make a perfume, it doesn't mean that person wants to buy a perfume. So you want to make sure that you are refining your keywords to only get results based on searches that are based on great intent, that it shows people wants to buy. So when someone searches for um Baraket Road near me, it means that person has an intent to buy. So you want your ads to show up when people use that search phrase on Google. And you also want to make sure that you are not actually attracting irrelevant traffic. So you want to make sure that you exclude these keywords. So as you can see, I already have them here. When, how, free, and cheap. So the exact text match does not contain. So this is what I want to exclude. So if you know other words that people use, so that people use that doesn't really indicate that they want to buy, you want to get those words and have them here and exclude them. So this will help you narrow down the keywords that are presented by Google, and then it helps you to make the selection that you want. So I'll click on apply. Now, clicking on apply, define keywords. Now, at the moment, we have 2,677 out of 3,000 keywords. So as you can see, we have been able to refine these keywords to a large extent. So if you sell Barakat Rook, you can basically click on this. You sell Blue de Chanel, you can actually click on this. You sell Channel perfume, you see it has a decent search volume. You click on this, you click on this. Okay, what you want to do is you basically select the keywords that you want. So you want to select phrase match, not broad phrase. Now, what broad, you want to select phrase match, not broad match. Now, what phrase match means, it means that Google is only going to display your ads, um, based on if the search term from the user actually, fits this keyword, because you do not want to show your ads um, for any keyword that the user is using to actually search for a product, because what this means is that you're going to be showing your ads to irrelevant people and you do not want that. So you want to make sure that it is set to phrase match. Okay, and you can basically make sure it's here, set to plan, and then you can actually copy this. Once you copy it, you see it is saved to your clipboard, or you can add this thing, you can add it to your keywords, okay, and then it's going to be saved, and you can easily get this when you are trying to build and when you're trying to set up your ad campaign. So this is just an overview on how you can carry out keyword research, how you can gain insights on the search volume. Now we are seeing this number of search volume because we only have a few locations. But if we decide to use a location with more search volumes, like the United States, you're going to realize that the search volume will be different. Now we have 100K to a million, we have 100K to 1 million, we have 10K to 100K. Now you see how basically changing just the the location, okay, it has impacted the search volume already. So let me head over to the class just to make sure that we are following. Okay, I see we're in class and I hope we are actually following. Now this is how you can carry out keyword research and gain insights on search volumes, which is going to aid you in decision making in terms of of products to buy, and how much or how easy it will be for you to sell because of the search volumes on Google. So as you can see with this, we have more data. You see this, it has high competition, and then it has so let's take a look at the low range. Now as you can see, this is the least amount people are paying to rank for this keyword, which is 0.72 cents, and this the highest that people are paying for this particular keyword is $3.62. That's the highest people are paying for this keyword. So this is just a brief overview on how you can carry out keyword research. So from the number of keywords that we have, here on let me see. So we have jewelries. So you can actually download this report. You can download it on a Google Sheet where you can have deep insight and then play around with the data as much as you want. So let me conduct another search with jewelries, and then I click on get results. Now this is in the US. Okay, I'm going to narrow this down to Nigeria. Then I'm going to get the US out. I'm also going to use Ghana once more. Then I'll use Kenya. Let's just use some African countries here. Okay, let's use Kenya as a country, and then we click on save. Now for jewelries, we're seeing almost the same search result, almost the same search volume. So this is for jewelries here. We have a total of 1K to 10K in search volume. For earrings, we have 1K to 10K in search volume. Necklace, we have 1K to 10K in search volumes. Now, this is men wedding rings. We have 100 to 1K. Jewelries in general. This exact keyword right here. Locket necklace, we have 100 to 1K. So basically, as you can see, not a lot of search volumes, but then you want to go for keywords with higher search volumes. As you can see, this is high. Gold jewelry. It has a search of an average monthly search of 1K to 10K. Now this is because now let us look at um, last month. Let's get to see what the search result looks like. Now for just last month, so let's say we want to get the average monthly searches within a short period of time, so we can see the search volume. And with a lot of search volume, it means a lot of people are interested in that product, and with the right keywords you get Google to show your ads to the right people. Now in total we have 1696 keywords available. And then, like I said, you can add your filters here. Okay, you can add your filter by keyword. Does not contain how. um okay, so you just need to identify certain words that you want to exclude. Okay, certain words you want to exclude, and then you click on why, and you actually click on apply, which is going to help you to refine your keywords. That way, you're actually getting you are getting keywords that people you are getting keywords that people are using when they have the intent of buying, not just because they are in the research phase. They are just trying to identify what are some jewelries made of, and some of the things they need to look at before purchasing one. So like I said, you can basically just highlight all of the keywords. Okay, you can basically highlight the keywords, you copy them, you have them on a document, and then you can still refine them much more. Or you can click on this to view the saved keywords directly. So you get to see, the saved keywords. So I haven't saved any keywords. Okay. So if that I have saved any keyword, you would have seen them here. So you just basically save your keyword. So let me head back to the keyword ideas and then save them. So click on this. So let me just select random ones, 1K, um, 1K to 10K. Let us stick with keywords with an average monthly search of 1K to 10K. So once you stick with phrase match, okay, and then we click on add to create keywords, okay. Then you can click on this to view saved keywords, and then you can see your saved keywords right here, and you can easily work with these keywords when you are trying to build your campaign. So at this point, this is a brief overview of how you can carry out keyword research by using a particular keyword. You get an overview of the search volume, and you get to see the level of competition, and you get to see the list that other advertisers are paying for that keyword, and you get to see the highest amounts that other advertisers are willing to pay in order for their ad to display when people search for this keyword. Now, this is just a brief overview on how you can use the keyword planner. So what I recommend is that you take your time and go over it and get to carry out research, and you're going to get insights on keywords that people are searching for. So I want to be sure that you're following. I can't actually zoom my screen. But then since I am sharing my screen, I think when you watch the replay once more, it will be a lot more easier for you to grasp. And then when you particularize it as well. So I have a question. So is it possible to just have Google Ads account to just play around with it for better? Yeah, of course you can have Google Ad account. You can have Google Ad account and basically play with it. Yeah, okay, for keywords, how many keywords do you, so you want to have about 10 to 15 keywords, okay, or you can have 15 to 20 keywords, okay. Now this is because you are trying to prioritize keywords that are related to your brand. And then, like I said, with this information you get to understand what people are searching for the most, and when a product or a keyword has a lot of search volume. It means people are looking for it. So if you also if you can also get that product and add it to the list of products that you sell, because it has a lot of search volumes, and you can easily make sell when you have that keyword, and you can really easily target people when they are using the right search intent on search engines. So this is an overview on how you can use the Google Keyword Planner. It's actually free, so you can go in there, you can test it, you can try out all other options there, and then get to see how you can refine your keywords and then get to use it for your Google ad campaign. So the next thing I will be doing right now is I'm going to take you back to Google AdWords, okay, where I'm going to show you how you can create a campaign on Google AdWords. Now, in the class we took on Google AdWords, we spoke about different kinds of ads, and I'm going to show you these ads, the different options, where they lead to in terms of where Google is going to show your ads. Okay, we are going to see how all of this option varies, and then based on the goal you intend to achieve, which of this option you would select that will give you the best result. So I want to see thumbs up if you are following the class. Please let me see thumbs up. Let me see thumbs up just to be sure that we are together. To be sure we are together. Now this can be a bit overwhelming. I always say this, I know, but then get to watch this recording once more, and that way it's going to make it a lot more easier for all of the things that I've said here for you to get to. Okay, I can see thumbs up. How do you create Google Ad campaign? Yeah, we are going to get into creating Google Ad campaign in no time. We're going to get into creating Google Ad campaign in no time. Yeah, great. So what you do is you get to watch this once more, and with Google Ads, you can actually create a free account. So once you have a free account, you can now practicalize these things. Okay, create a Google Ad account, follow the steps that I just highlighted, step by step, and all of these things will get to make sense. Okay, I can see thumbs up. I can see thumbs up. I can see thumbs up. Great. So moving forward, I'm going to show you how you can create a Google ad campaign, okay, where you can set up your ads on Google Ads. So it could be a search ad, it could be a display ad, all of these types of ad. I'm going to show you how you can set them up on Google Ads. So let's head over to the Google Ad dashboard. Okay. So what do you want to do? The first thing is you're going to see this icon, which is a plus icon, as you can see, create. And this is also an icon that is calling you. Okay. It's there, bold and clear, directing you on how to create a new campaign. Please give me a minute just to load this. Okay, so what you need to do is to click on this, the plus icon, and then it's going to take you to a new window where you can start creating your campaign. Now, here's an option for you to select your objective. So when I was taking the class for Google Ad Campaign, I spoke about some objectives, okay? So now this here is for sales. It says if you want to drive sales online, in-app, by phone, or in store. So basically, this is an objective. So if you want to make sales, basically what this objective does is Google is going to, based on past data, Google will try its best to get people who are buyers with or people who have bought before from Google Ads. They're going to get them to get your ads in front of them, to help you get that sale. Now, this is also for lead ads, get leads and other conversions by encouraging customers to take action. So Google is going to show your ads to people that have taken similar actions in the past. Okay, so basically, once you use this objective, you would likely get people who would actually take certain actions. It could be filling out a form on your ad, or basically whatever action that you want them to take. Now, this is for web traffic. It's self-explanatory when you want to get the right people to visit your website. And this is for app promotion, okay, when you want to get more installs, engagement, and pre-registration for your app. So if you have an app, okay, you can use this objective, and Google is going to guide you on how you can use the right call to action to get people to take this particular action. As you can see, there are other objectives, so you can just go over them. And there's also a brief explanation on what this objective, what they are, and what they hope to help you achieve. So we are going to be using leads for this lesson. So I'm going to show you how you can set up a lead campaign. Okay, so use this conversion goals to improve leads. So basically, you can set up conversion. On my account, I think I have page views. Okay, so I'm going to show you how you can set up this your conversion goal. So what this does, it helps Google, being able to track what your conversion is. So I'm going to walk you through, how you can set up your conversion on the different, let's say after we're done setting up these ads. That way, it's actually helping Google to track, what exactly you want them to track as a conversion on your campaign. So I'm going to click on continue right now. Now it's asking you to select your type of ads. Now this is for search ad. This is a performance max ad, demand ad, display ad, shopping ads, and video ads. Now for search ads, okay, it says get in front of high intent customers at the right time on Google search. Now what this means is that Google is going to display your ad when people search for this keyword, just like the way we carry out different searches on Google. So if someone initiates a search with a keyword that is a part of your list of keywords. Now, this is when Google is going to display your ad because of the keyword, and if it matches a list of keywords that you have submitted to Google to rank your ads for. So now this is for performance max. Now, what this does is now Google has a couple of platforms, which includes is either you are seeing these ads when you are searching on Google, either on videos, which is on YouTube. So if you are using this, Google is going to show your ads across different platforms. This is also demand gen, drive demand and conversion on YouTube, Discover, and Gmail with image and video ads. So basically, what this will do, if you use this option, Gmail or Google is going to show your ads to people on YouTube. It's going to show your ads to people that are on their Gmail. If you notice, if you're on Gmail, you're going to see ads now displays on Gmail. Now, this is for display. When people are browsing, you get to see all of these ads that pop up. That's what this option is all about. Video, this is for YouTube. And for shopping, it's going to show your product um, show your product to shoppers as they explore what to buy. Okay. So now this is going to show your products to people as they are trying to explore other projects online and they are trying to make that buying decision. So we're going to be working with search ads because we want our ad to display when someone is using a keyword that is in our list of keywords that we want to rank for. So I'm going to click on search. And then it says select the ways you would like to reach your goals. So if you want them to visit your website, you want them to call you, you want them to visit your store, or you want them to submit some data to a form, you can highlight any of these options. But we want them to get to our website. So now this is an option for you to impute the URL of your website. So we're going to be using my website. So we're going to be using my website. Okay. So we click on continue. Now you want to give your campaign a name. Okay, you want to give your campaign a name. Now this is a unique name to make it easy for you to identify this campaign among your list of campaign on your Google Ad account. So let's name this, because I offer digital marketing as a service. So let's make this digital ads ad campaign. So we click on continue. Okay, start new. You're just reminding me of the campaign that I have initially. Okay, now we have been taken to the next page, okay, where we can now set up our bidding, okay. Now, what do you want to focus on? Now you want to focus on it. If you want to focus on conversion value, you have to assign the conversion value. Okay, it says a conversion value is a value that you associate with action taken on your web page, app, or store. So you want to set up certain value based on action that someone takes. So let's say if someone visits your website, you can set up a value as 1. If they click on particular links on your website, you can actually set up that value. You can add another value to it. So let's say 5. So what you're doing, you're assigning value to help you to make decision based on the action that was taken. So this is clicks. So if you want people to just click on your ad, you can actually do this, but we're going to be working with conversion. So here is an option for you to set a target cost per action. Okay, so you want to set a target cost per action. Now here it says the target CPA sets bids to help get as many conversions or possible at or below the target cost per action. You set some conversions. Some conversions may cost more or less than your target. So if you remember when we were carrying out keyword research, we saw the highest amount that other advertisers are paying for a keyword, and we saw the lowest amount. So now this is an opportunity for us to set our budget. So let's say we want to work with $1. Okay, so that let's say that's what we are willing to spend per click. Okay. Now this is for customer acquisition. Now bid for new customers only. Now this option limits your ads to only new customer. So we do not want to let this. We want to ensure that even people who have gotten to our website um, previously, they can still find their way to our website, because most times it requires more than one touch point to get that conversion. Most times people need to see your ads more than once, for them to get to understand the message that you are trying to actually pass across, and then make that buying decision. So you do not want to check this. So you click on next. And now this is for network. Now, Google is actually offering you a suggestion if you want your ads to show on search network and if you want it to show on display network. Now, ads can appear on Google search results and other Google sites when people search for items that are relevant to your keywords. I mean, this is what we want, okay, because this is the kind of ads that we're actually running. We want our ads to display when people search for um, our specific keywords or other relevant keywords. Now, display, because we are not running a display ad, Google actually wants to show our ads to people when they are browsing, but that's not basically what we want. We only want our ads to display when people are searching for relevant keywords. So I will deselect this. And then for location, where do you want your ads to be seen? Do you want it to be seen all the countries and territories, or you want to select a particular location? So let's just stick with Nigeria, okay? Or you can select a location right here. For languages, we have English all set. Now, this is an option for you to set your audience, okay? Now, for me, at the moment, what I'm looking at, so in creating this ad, I used my website, and what I do is I am a digital marketer. Okay, I help businesses make more sales online. That's basically what I do as a digital marketer. Now, what I want to do is I want to promote my service. Okay, I want to promote what I do. So that's what I want to do for this campaign. Now, I want to search for digital marketing since that is what I do. Okay, Let me see the audiences that are available on digital marketing. So I see email marketing, which is what I do, um, sales and marketing jobs. Okay, I do web design and development as well, um, advertising and marketing services. So what am I doing? I'm basically adding, these audiences to my campaign, or you can use this option to browse. So who are there by their detailed demography? Okay, you can use this to search based on marital status. Okay, if they are parents or infants, within this year period, you can actually select this. Why? The reason why I'm not getting much results is because of my location. So what I'll do is, okay, what I'm going to do is I'll switch this to Nigeria once more, okay, so I can get more audience data. Parents. Okay, let me switch to a region with higher search volume. I think that would help us see data on this campaign. So enter location. So let's use United States, where we have a lot of search volume. So with this, you can search based on. Now this option allows you to search, while this you can browse from the selected, you can browse from the many options that they have here. So we can head over to either education, highest level of education, high school graduates. You can add that to your audience. Okay, now you see it has been added. I want to add people with bachelor's degree as well. So basically with this option, you can basically go down and tailor in your search, okay? And with this, you can now set up your audience. Small, so this is by company size, okay? Or you can use the search icon here to just search, and you're going to see relevant options that you can just add to your audience. So when you are done adding your audience, okay, what you need to do is to now select your keyword match, your basically this is now talking about how Google is going to match the keyword that was searched with what you have on your Google ad platform. Now it's recommended that you use broad keywords. Okay, use broad match keywords for your entire campaign. Use keyword types. Now you want to use broad keywords. Now broad keywords, like I said the other time, is going to bring in a lot of traffic that you might not want, okay, because people are searching for items on Google based on different reasons. Okay, so you want to ensure that you are using a specific kind of keyword so that you can filter out searches that are not relevant. So I see it's almost time for break. So when we come back, I'm going to walk you through this campaign, and we're going to get to set up this campaign and get to launch it. So we'll be going for a break in the next 1 minute so you can take your attendance. And when we are back, I'll walk you through the campaign.
Have you ever wondered how digital skills can Have you ever wondered how digital skills can change lives? Do you know that over 60% Africans have you ever wondered how digital skills can change lives? Do you know
Hello, everyone. You're welcome back. I hope you have taken your attendance. So I'm going to share my screen so we can pick up right where I left off. Okay, I'm sure you can see my screen right here. So for this, I said we're going to be using, we're going to turn off the broad keyword search, okay? Because, if you remember, when I was carrying out keyword research, we had to use phrase match because we do not want our ads to be seen by anyone, that has that keyword in their search term. We want to ensure that our ads are seen by people that have certain intent to take certain action or they are not in their research phase. So we want to turn off the use of broad keyword match. So now here's an option for you to schedule your ad. So if you wanted to show all days, you can select. If you wanted to show Monday to Friday, you can set the time. This is self-explanatory. So once you're done, you click on this icon, and then here is more settings. You can click on more settings. Add rotation. We don't want add rotation. If you so this is the start and end date. So here this is October 25th because this is the time I'm actually setting up these ads. You can add an end date if you have a specific period, or you can just let the ad run until you exhaust your budget. But it's important you have, an end date. So let's say you want to run a 5-day campaign. You have this to end on, so let's say on the 30th of this month. So that's when I want this campaign to end. Then I can, get to review the result and carry out certain optimization. Campaign URL all set. Now, with this, you're all set to go to the next phase. Now, what this is doing here, this is keyword asset generation. Okay. Now, what this is doing now, this is a tool that is basically, or this is done automatically. Now, let's read through it and then get to see what just happened right here. As you can see by my left hand side, this is where we are at. We have set up the bidding, okay, where we added the amount that we intend to spend per click. Here we looked at the campaign settings where we set up the audience and some other setup that regards to the campaign. Now this is where the keywords that this is where your keyword research comes into play. So whatever keywords that you have, after carrying out your keyword research, you can now get those keywords and then add them into your campaign. Now here at the top you can see it says keyword and asset generation. Now, get help creating your ad. Now, Google AI, now this is more like an AI feature here in Google. Now, Google AI will use your URL and the information you provide to create assets like keyword, headlines, and description for you to review. Okay, generated content may be inaccurate or offensive, so please review and check the responses. Now, basically, what this is saying is that I gave Google my URL because I want to send the traffic to this URL. So I gave it my URL, and basically this is what it came up with from my website. I'm a seasoned digital marketer specializing in email marketing, leveraging 5 years of expertise. Now, this is what it was able to pull out from my website. So I can either click on this to skip. Once I skip this, basically what this will do is I have to fill up this information here when I get to keywords and add. But I'm going to click on generate. So I'm going to see what Google AI is going to give me. Okay. So now, after I clicked on generate, now here is a chat bot, basically that I can use to chat with Google AI and then get certain information to help me in setting up my ad. But I don't want to chat with Google AI, so I'm going to get this. Yeah, and chat. Good. So at the moment, this is where we are. Now, this is the URL where I'm going to be sending people to. So if you have a perfume business, now this would be the URL to your websites. Okay, so for those people who set up, who build websites, you can basically get the URL and you have it here. And then what Google AI will do, it's going to search through your website to identify keywords that you can use to set up your Google ad campaign. Now here is for products, add products or services to advertise. Now, mostly what I do a lot of email marketing, so that's why these categories are here. But you can go in here and add, oops, email marketing. I wanted to add digital marketing. Now, these are the keyword suggestions here. Now, as I add more keywords, now this is an option. If I click on update keywords, it's going to update keywords. Now, what is Google doing? Google is basically giving me suggestions, based on keywords that I can rank for, looking at, what I do or what this website does. So let me add content writer. Now, once I click on this to update, replace current keyword. Yeah, let me click on replace. Okay, as you can see, these are the keywords that I was given by Google. Okay, so what you basically want to do is you want to ensure that you have your keywords in place, and when you have your keywords in place, you want to add them instead of using the ones that are also generated by Google's AI. Just as we read, it says it might not be so correct, basically, so you just want to refine it and make sure you make edits to it. So these are the keywords that we have selected right here. And as you can see, I'm adding these quotations to the keyword. What this means is that, remember, we spoke about different kinds of keyword where we have broad keywords, and we also have um, keyword phrase. Now, what would happen if I leave this like this? If I leave this like this, it means that I want Google to display my ads when people, search for just this particular keyword. So even if it's a broad phrase match, or if it's even if it's a broad match rather, or if it is a phrase match. Okay, so but then once I put this quote sign here, it basically means that I want my ad to be seen by people with a phrase match, not a broad match, basically. So even though I had that on the setup, I also want to, have that here as well. So you want to make sure that, all of these things are in quotes. That way, what you're doing with this, you are basically telling Google to leverage these keywords for phrase match, basically. That's what it means. Now, as you can see, this is the suggestion that Google is giving me. Upgrade your keywords to broad match. I made mention of broad match and phrase match. What broad match does is that broad match would actually get you more clicks, okay? Broad match, because it's going to show your ads to a lot of people. And you want to ensure that your ads are seen by people who have the right intent. Okay, so that is why we are adding the quotation mark here, so we can tell Google that, hey, we want our ads to be shown to only people with a phrase match. That is what it means. I hope that is well understood. And now this is where we need to set up the ads, and or this is how the ad is basically going to look like on mobile. Now this is mobile and this is desktop. So what we're doing right here, we are now, we are basically getting a real life preview of what our ad is going to look like. Now this is more like an indicator, just helping me to ascertain, how far I have gone with my ad setup. So this is the final URL. Now this is the display part. Okay, what does display part mean? You can see here, this is the display part. It says the path fields are part of your display URL. Okay, what this means is that whatever I add here is going to be, it's basically trying to give people an insight. It's actually giving people insight on which page that I am sending them to. Okay, so let's say for me, I am a digital marketer, I'm a freelance digital marketer, and what I'm doing right now is I want to promote my service using Google Ads. So basically, what page would I want them to go to? I might want them to go to my home page, then I might put home. And if you see, it's going to display home. So it's giving people insights, to the page that I am sending them to, or I can have portfolio, because basically people would want to see links to past projects I have worked on to give them insights on what I do basically. So you can have any of these two, and Google would get to decide which of them to show. Now, in terms of headlines, okay, now you can see there are quite a couple of headlines here. There are quite a couple of headlines here. There are quite a couple of headlines here. So now these are all of the headlines that were suggested by Google. You can see there are quite a lot. There are quite a lot. So what am I going to do? I need to just go in and make changes to them, and then I would also tell Google the order in which to display them. Now, it's important that you have the right information here that is going to drive people to take required action. So it's very important that you get to plan this very well. You have your content written and every other thing that you need in order to get people to find your ad attractive and take action. So good. What do I want to do here is for the headline. Let's say I want to. So you want to make sure that it's within this the character limit here, which is 30. Okay. Um, okay. Let me just say get more B2B customers. So once you have added this headline, what you need to do is to click on this and set it to show in position one. So what you're doing is you are telling Google which headline to display. Now, since I set that to show in position one, let's get to see what the result we have here is. Now, as you can see, get more B2B customers. That's what I want people to see. As you can see, there are a lot of headlines, but with this pin icon, you can tell Google which of the headlines to display. Now, Google would basically check from this headline, and based on, the position you give to any of them is going to display them based on that position. Okay, so you want to see, now there are three different positions. So you want to basically select the one that Google should show to your customers based on your research. If you leave the first one, what this will do is it's going to basically pick from all of this headline and show your customers, and you do not want that. You want to ensure that you have the right content that you have written that is going to get you the best form of conversion. So now I have the first one here, which is pin get more B2B customers, free marketing automation. I could also change this to, so let me think of another headline that I would want to use if I want to promote my service using Google Ads as a digital marketer. So we have one. First here is get more B2B customers. Um, um, Okay, this is generate leads. Now, what you need to do at this point, you want to make sure that you have all of the headlines you want to try out. Okay, you want to make sure you already have them written. And once you have your headline, you want to tell Google how to display your headline, so they do not use headlines that you are not so convenient with. And like all of these things actually um, were actually set up by Google AI. So we want to ensure we look and review it to ensure that it aligns it aligns to our preference. So let's get to see. Now you see get get more customers, get more B2B customers, and here it says get leads with cold email. So I have to edit this. Now I already have my headline. So you can basically just leave all of this because Google is not going to show them because it's not part of the ones you suggested, or you can just get them off. So we are done with our headline. We love how the headline looks. Now here's a description. Now there are a number of descriptions. So what you just need to do is to ensure you get the description that fits you, and then you have them here. And then you also use this pin to determine, which of them you want Google to show. Get access. Now this is okay. Now this is an option for you to add links to your ads. Basically, you want to add links to your ads basically. So if you have links to, let's say certain relevant information to your ads, you want to add them here. So what do I want to do? I want to, okay, so I am a digital marketer and I have projects I've worked on. So I want to use this opportunity to share links on my ad, so that when people see these links, okay, they are actually um, it's going to offer more description to what I do. So I can click on this, the site title, project details. So you want to, um, so what this did was that it pulled out some projects on my website and then it's highlighting it on my ad. So that's what it's doing. So now this is a link to one of the projects I have actually worked on. So depending on what you are promoting, this is an option for you to add more. Now this is what the link, or these are what the link are going to display as. Okay. Oops. So what you want to do is you click on this, okay, and give it a name. Um, so let's say 10x, or let's say 20%, 20% conversion. Okay. Now, as you can see, this is what it's showing. Now, when someone sees this, okay, the person has an idea of what I'm actually selling, because I want to, show the person a case study of how I was able to get certain results for my clients. Now, this is going to display on the ad. So if you have certain offers that you're actually giving out, let's say 20% discount, 20% discount on, let's say you are giving a 20% discount, okay, you can actually add this here. You can make it more specific by indicating which products in your store is selling with 20% discount. Now, this is an option for you to add the URL, okay, and all of these are advanced options. But then once you have this, you can add a description, a description as well, to basically give more insight to what this offer that you are giving. And here's a link. So when someone clicks on this link, it's going to take them directly to whatever offer that you have for them. So what I need to do is to click on create. Now you want to make sure that you have at least two, so that Google is going to display these two to your to people who will get to see this ad. Now it says add links to your ads to take people to specific pages on your website. Now that's what this does. Now for call out, now add more call out information. So we call out information Now, what this means is that you want to, now this is what the call out information is. Now you want to add information that is going to be persuasive, okay, that's going to pull people into your it's going to pull people to engage with your ad. That's what this basically means here. Okay, so you can edit this call out to what you want. Okay, so only pay for replies. Now, because I am trying to promote my service as an email marketer, I'm only telling people that this is what they have to do. They only pay when they get replies. So let's say you are selling um you're selling perfumes like we said. You can actually put this pay on delivery. Now this is a good call out. Pay on delivery. This is a good call out. Okay. Click on save. Now this call out is going to display your ad. Now what this does, like I said, it actually helps you to be more persuasive and get people to click on your ad. So once you have your call out here, now this is an option for you to add more assets. If you want to add a promotion, you want to add price, you want to add phone numbers, you can basically have all of these things. You want to add a lead form, you want to add more snippets as well. You can actually do this to basically help your ads to be much to convey a lot more information that is going to get people to engage with it. That's what all of this option here, that's what it does. Okay. So the next one is add URLs. So you want to, this is for tracking. Okay, so this is much more advanced. So we'll just leave this for now. So once you are done with this, you want to look, as you can see, you have this checked in, you have your bidding checked in, you have your campaign checked in, you have your keywords and assets checked in. At this point, we have all of this set up. Then you can now click on next. Now, at this point, this is where you have to set your budget to keep your data safe. Please confirm it's really you. After confirmation, you need to complete an action. Okay, it's just asking me to add, confirm my, or I should add, I think a two-factor authentication. That's what it's asking me to do. Now, these are recommended budgets. Okay, so I can either select any of these recommended budgets, or I can set a custom one. Okay, so most times you want to make sure that you have a good budget on your ads. That way, you get across to much more people. So let's say we're going to move with the recommended budget right here. Now, this is what I intend to spend based on the period that I specified on the ad. Initially I think I set a period of 5 days. Okay, so this is what I would actually spend on average for my ad. So you basically can review this, or you can set a custom budget. So let's say, if you have more budget, you can add more budget. What this does is going to help your ad to be seen by more people. Remember, we said we had a $1 per click for our cost per click. So you see all of this information is there. So here is an overview of how many clicks I can expect to get weekly for weekly conversion, basically. And this is how much I would get to spend if I'm able to get this weekly, if I'm able to when I attain this weekly clicks. So once you set your budget, you can now click on next to basically review your campaign. Now this is going to give you a brief overview of all the things that we've been doing so far, from setting up the bidding, the campaign settings, to keyword and assets, um, keywords and ads, and then budget. So it's checking for errors. If there's any error, it's going to indicate that there is an error in our ad. Okay, I see we are good. Okay, almost finished. Yeah, I swear, almost finished. I don't put my So it's going to check for errors, and once it has checked for errors, basically, it's going to show you recommendations. Okay, it's going to show you recommendation, and you ensure that your ad account is funded. Once your ad account is funded, you can now launch your ad, and your ad is going to go live. So this is how you can basically, now this is an option to publish your campaign. Once you publish your campaign is going to go live and your ad will start running. So after a while, you can now come to your ad campaign and check to see how it is performing. Now save for later. Now basically, this is how you can set up your ad campaign using Google AdWords. Okay, so let try. Okay, so this is just a brief overview of how to set up your Google Ad campaign. So if you have any questions, please bring your questions. If you have any questions, please let me see your questions. Yeah, someone is asking if you can use Google Ads for Amazon products. Yes, you can use Google Ads for Amazon products. You can use Google Ads to promote literally anything that you want to sell. So what you just need to do is when setting up your campaign, you want to make sure that you have the right description, the right call out. So it's going to lure people to your page, and then they're going to see the offer that you have, which is going to drive them to take desired action. So of course you can use Google Ads to sell your Amazon products. Now what I would recommend you do is, from the things you've learned from this video, you can at your end set up your Google Ad account and try to use the keyword planner, and also okay, Kemi is asking, is conversion when people buy your product or when they just click? Now, yeah, on your Google Ad account. Now, there are different things that can be conversion to you, but most times it would be when someone actually buys your product. So that is actually conversion for you. But then there are different touch points for before someone gets to convert. And one of the touch point is they need to find their way to your website first. So that's why we are actually Google is actually selling that click. So once they click, they're going to get to your website where you have your offer, where you have your landing page well structured to convert. So basically, once you are able to get that click, the next thing is for you to use that opportunity with the information on your page to sell to that prospect. So more questions? More questions? Now, Google Ads can, I would say it has its own ups and downs, but then what I always recommend is you go over this session one more time, and you can also check out other resources online. So these resources, and what you just learned today would help you better understand, how to find your way around this tool and how to, better build the right kind of ads moving forward. So let me know if you have any questions. Your questions can start coming in. The questions can start coming in. Your questions can start coming in if you have any questions. Now, I was looking at the website that you built, the project that my co-instructor gave to you. I was looking at, what she did and what you guys did basically. And from what I saw, it was a collective projects that you guys did. So in my next session, I'm looking at walking you through the process of building your personal website. So I'm looking at walking you guys through that. So what I would do is you're going to get first-hand experience on how to structure a personal website for yourself that you can use to promote your service as a digital marketer. So I mean, I have one. While I was going through this class, I've been showing you my website and everything. Now it actually depends on your preference. Now most times, now I am responding to the question by Philip Grace. So she's asking, is Facebook ad cheaper and better? Now she's asking if Facebook ads is cheaper or better. Now it actually depends. Now with Facebook ad, you can actually pay in naira and you can actually set up a dollar account. But then with Google ads, you basically need to use a dollar account for Google ads. Uh so please, if you have any question related to the session today, please let me know. Please, I'm only going to entertain questions that are related to what I did today. Those are the only questions I will be taking, please. Those are the only questions I will be taking. Okay, I learned you'll be writing your exams next week. I learned you'll be writing your exams next week. Okay. So far, so good. When I started this lesson, I walked you guys through how to conduct keyword research, and I saw a lot of thumbs up, which means we understand the concept of using Google Keyword Planner to carry out keyword research. Now, what I want you to do at your end is to practicalize it. Once you practicalize it, you're going to get hands-on experience and you're going to get better. And it's same for setting up Google Ads as well. So you want to go through the this video and then other resources online to help you gain better insights, on how to leverage this platform and then set up high converting ads. So moving forward, you can actually set up Google Ads for your business, or you can set it up for clients that are looking to get more customers using Google Ads. So your questions, if you have more questions, please drop them on the chat. If I don't see any question, I believe we're all good. Everything is understood, and I will end the session for today. So you can get your hands busy and conclude on what you are working on, in regards to your project and then your exams as well. Okay, not seeing any questions here. I'm not seeing any questions here. So, like I said, go over this session and then get to practicalize what we have done today. And with this, you're going to get better insight and hands-on experience on how to set up Google Ads and use Google Keyword. Now, there are no slides for today. As this is asking, please, if I'm employed as a digital marketer, is all that I've been taught here my roles? Yeah. Today is the last class. Basically, I just got that information. It was something I was actually thinking about, but it's all good. Yeah. For Oluwayinka, she's asking, all of these are roles. Now, digital marketing is quite wide. So, as a digital marketer, you want to ensure that you have experiences on different facets of digital marketing. Okay. Now, these are things that you are also going to be handling. So, it's important that you have experience on them, and you can also delegate it to people on your team. Now, on digital marketing, we have SEO, we have paid ads, we have social media marketing. All of them are an aspect of digital marketing. So these are things that you should know. And when when you get hired as a digital marketer, you want to be able to implement these things or basically manage these things in when you are hired on a team. Yeah, it's going to be clear actually. It's going to be clear. it's going to be clear. Actually, I think it is just from your end, but every other person seems to be working well. Now, Kemi is asking, what is a reasonable budget for Google Ads? Now, you can test out ads. For that example, I actually, because I had that ad run for a week, that's why we have that huge budget. But then you can run an ad for as little as $5 basically, but then you won't expect to get a lot of clicks. Now, instead of using $1 as your pay per click, you can use 0.20 cents. Okay, that's also going to help your ads run, and then you're also going to get data from your ads. So of course you can use that. I'm only taking questions that are related to what I taught today. So every question would be strictly on what I taught today. Okay, you're welcome, Kemi. You're welcome, Kemi. You are welcome. Okay, at this point, I don't see any questions. So, yeah, I believe we are all on the same page now. So, what I recommend you do right now is to go watch a recap of this session, get your Google Ad account, and then practice. Okay, you're welcome, Christabel. Okay, what are filters? Okay, yeah, I made mention of filters. So now, what is a filter? Now, practically, what a filter does is, so if you want to look at it using a filter, let's say you want to use a filter on water. What a filter does is to help you to remove certain aspect that you do not want from that liquid content. Now, that's what a filter does in setting up your keyword. Now, what it does is that you are removing certain keywords that are not going to get you the best results from the list of keywords that we have there for the search result. That was why when using a filter, I excluded certain words, because anyone who is using those words to initiate a search, it doesn't really show that they want to buy. It doesn't really mean they want to buy, they are just making research. So when someone goes online and searches for um so let's say why digital marketing, that person doesn't really want to, that person isn't interested in my service, so I do not want my ads to be shown to them. Someone is talking about retargeting. What retargeting means is basically when you are showing your ads to people that have engaged with your ads before, so you are retargeting them. Now, generally, it requires more than one touch point for you to make a sale. So you want to make sure that you are still hitting people with your ads. So that's just the concept of what retargeting is. Okay. I think I've responded to all questions that were raised. At this point, if there are no questions, I will end the session so we can all go to bed and rest. And please go back to this session and then get to practicalize what we have done. Yes, of course, you can retarget other ads, or what you can do, or what most people do with retargeting ads is that once they have used a particular ad copy, they can create another ad copy or creative basically to touch on different aspects of their product or service to create more touch points in order to um, persuade the prospect to actually take an action. So those are things you can do around retargeting ads to help you get results. Okay, 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 okay. Now, a thing about retargeting ads is you can only retarget people with ads if you are using a particular ad platform. So let's say Google Ads or Facebook Ads. Now, if you run a particular ads initially, you can still target that same people with other ads. While I was explaining, I showed you how you can select your audience. So you can still target that same audience with another variation of your ads. That is what is called retargeting ads. All right, guys, thank you very much for your time today. Thank you very much for your time today. Um, I hope you all enjoyed the session. Like I've said this countless times. Please go back to this session and rewatch this session, and then basically practicalize what you have been taught today, and also look at other resources as well. Please look at other resources as well. Kemi, you're welcome. Kemi, you're welcome. Elizabeth, you're welcome. You're welcome. Very well, guys. Thank you very much for your time tonight. And I'll be leaving the session right now. Do have a good night's rest, everyone. Do take care. And I wish you success in your exams coming next week. Bye, guys.